day, 25 days to go. Julian, what is it looking like at your home?
It's that kind of morning in studio where you have to pull your jacket in the mix for them.
That's right.
You're serious about things.
That's right.
But indeed, this time we're now getting into we started some of the outdoor kind of work early with that look that you're going for ultimately. So fingers crossed, we'll be able to get it out the way early enough. Early enough. And then to some effort started on the inside as well. So it's ultimately that kind of preparatory mode. But you haven't seen the end just yet.
That's right. Because that's always the plan, eh? It's always the plan to start early so you could finish early and enjoy.
Correct. So you're not seeing the end just yet. We want to say to each, we want to give you that sense of hope. That sense of hope out there. Whether you are J-Cell, Boris, Vincent online, Selma, Lashley, just know we're giving you that sense of hope. If you haven't started yet, now is the time. Now is the time, viewers. Now is the time. I want to say good morning to each and every one of you. I want to thank you so much for continuing to choose the Tobago Updates, a morning show, continuing to connect with you. And at this point, we head straight on into our news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Julian and Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Thursday, 30th November 2023, brought to you by B-Mobile. It's a Christmas season with B-Mobile. The Division of Education, Research and Technology has released a brief statement indicating that while the incident is currently under investigation, appropriate disciplinary measures have already been taken against the students found responsible for their involvement in an assault against a female student. On Tuesday, a video circulated on social media depicting over 20 students hitting and kicking the victim. The division has assured that it is also working closely with the relevant authorities to ensure a thorough and prompt inquiry into the assault on the female student. A pocket of methane gas was reportedly found under one of the residences demolished for the construction of the new airport terminal in Bonaccord. According to a press release from NIDCO, a routine pipe installation exercise on Sunday detected the gas pocket 95 feet underground. The area was cordoned off and testing was undertaken by the National Gas Company. It was determined that the gas was methane, a common biogas occurring in swampy shallow areas. The gas was dissipated, but NIDCO announced that it is being closely monitored. The chairman of the Pariah Commission of Inquiry, King's Counsel Jerome Lynch, emphasized that the tragic accident at Pariah Fuel Trading Company's point-of-sale operations in February 2022 was not an act of God but a preventable incident. The COE, with an approximate cost of $15.5 million, conducted a 16-month investigation into the accident where divers performing maintenance work were sucked into an underwater pipeline, resulting in 4 fatalities. The final report will be submitted to President Christine Kangaloo. However, Lynch called for the report to be made public after it is handed over. And that was your news in 90 seconds, brought to you by B-Mobile. It's a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
This Christmas we celebrate it, cause B-Mobile they coming with rap. So brace yourself for plenty prizes, cause this season will be the nice. It's the most deals and the most vibes and the most cars and the most price. The most giveaways, the most para. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile. I want a Christmas season with B-Mobile. Bring the sorrel with us to a Merry Christmas. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
Top up, buy a plan, sign up or pay your bills. Enjoy the best Trinbago Christmas. B-Mobile. Life is on.
Yes, good morning and welcome back, viewers. Really having a Christmas season with B-Mobile indeed, as we continue to give thanks. So much things happening there on the outside, but just before we touch on that even more, to give you an idea of what's coming up this morning, we're heading on into our birthday shoutouts.
All right, and celebrating a birthday today, we have Anne-Marie DeGazon. It's her birthday today, and we want to wish you a very happy birthday from all of us here at Tobago Updates Television. Happy birthday to you.
All right, birthday shout outs going out there to Anne-Marie, and now we have on screen. This is none other than Joyanne Yates Prescott. And if you know her any at all, she's that energy, she's that vibe, that life of the party. And we want to take the time out this morning to wish you a happy birthday. And I know that the family got you covered without a shadow of a doubt. Want to wish you continued blessings and happy birthday coming from the entire Tobago Updates family.
Right, next on screen we have Melissa Walcott Duke. It is her birthday today, and we want to wish you a very happy birthday. We pray God's blessings upon your life. We do hope that you enjoy your birthday as we head into the weekend, so I'm hoping that the celebrations would be grand as you celebrate, and we say happy birthday to you.
Yes, my good friend on the outside there. Happy birthday, Melissa. All right, and from one to another, very good friend from way back. We go way back indeed. Want to wish you a happy birthday, Anika Edwards. We trust that you continue to enjoy the celebrations and to wish you indeed continued blessings and all the best coming from me, my family, and the entire Tobago Updates family. Happy birthday, Anika.
Right, and rounding up the birthdays this morning, we have Cami Bob. Cami Bob celebrating a birthday today. We want to wish you a very happy birthday, Lady in Red. We want to celebrate you and wish you, the Christmas color coming out there, the Christmassy.
It's that standout kind of birthday outfit.
That's right. That's right. The model pose and all. So we just want to wish you a very happy birthday, and we do hope that you enjoy all the blessings that come with celebrating a birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Cami. Happy birthday. Yes, and also we're bringing up on screen, folks, we got Tobago Day celebrations happening as early as today. You'd be aware that we had the media launch that took place. We also had a communications director, Avian Parks, on with us, giving us some insight. And yes, today is another big day in the lineup of activities. Today, what actually takes place is the Tobago Day debate that takes place today, hosted at the Assembly Legislature from 10 a.m. And it's really that opportunity to tune in and to connect with our young persons. It's the annual Tobago Day debate with secondary schools from across Tobago. And certainly we're looking forward to these discussions and to getting the views and perspectives of our young persons in the mix. And the activities continue most definitely into tomorrow with the triathlon, straight on into the cookout and the follow-up activities, all fours competition Saturday, interdepartment sports and family day, on to Thanksgiving on Monday. It's a full lineup, full lineup for the celebrations, and then most certainly the Tobago Day Awards, where we have heard through the district meetings and utterances by the Honorable Chief Secretary that some announcements would be made on Tobago Day itself, Monday, December 4th. So we look forward to the lineup of activities. It's that kind of weekend in Tobago, so ensure that you become a part of the celebrations and the activities for Tobago Day.
That's right. And before we go on to our rundown, I also want to mention that the Scarborough RC is having a book fair today. It's a school fundraiser. It starts from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. It takes place right there at the Scarborough RC grounds, the primary school library, which is located on the left side of the office. So if you're going in there, that's where that's happening. They're encouraging you to buy books for Christmas gifts, month-end shopping, stock up your home library, and reading is the key to children's success. So that's happening there today at the Scarborough RC Primary School, at the school library, book fair, school fundraiser. Let's go there to help them raise funds for the projects that are ongoing at that school. So that's happening today at Scarborough RC School.
Right, great. Adana, who do we have on the rundown this morning?
Right, this morning we'll be speaking with Rodney Pigott. Rodney Pigott is the chairman of Tobago CivilNet, and the Tobago CivilNet they did a survey concerning Tobago autonomy. So we're going to have conversations in terms of their findings and the outcomes of that survey that is taking place this morning on our show. We also speak with Cherish Dacon, I hope I've got it correctly. She's the corporate communications officer at OPM Cast, and we also speak to Delise Nancis, administrative assistant there as well, talking about the AIDS HIV workshop. And we round conversations up this morning with Shabiki Vifius. I hope I pronounce Vifus, right? He's the playwright and director of an event taking place there at the Harmon School of SD. So we have conversations with them as well this morning, and that is how we round our conversations today on Tobago Updates, on the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. And we thank you. We always say thank you for joining us here as we have conversations in relation to things that happen in and around Tobago. And I just want to take some time to say good morning to some of our viewers. I know Julian already said good morning to Giselle, Boris Vincent, Selma Lashley. We see Andrew Edwards here. Beverly Ramsey Moore is also watching. Rian George. Good morning, Dora Lyons. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Dora in the mix out there. Morning.
Good morning.
I see we also have Sandra or Tony on with us this morning as well. And you know, Giselle, Boris Vincent, and Gavin, we go way back. Way back indeed.
Of course.
I've had great times at that wedding celebration. I could never forget that.
How can you? Unforgettable moments. Indeed, of course.
So we're looking forward to an exciting morning ahead. As usual, we're so thankful to have each and every one of you with us. Yes, folks, it's the 30th of November already. We head on in tomorrow to the 1st of December. You know, it's that kind of time, rushing straight on to Christmas 2023. As we continue to say thank you to each and every one of you, we want to remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Christmas, speed is on us. Get up to 300 megabits per second of speed with our new Link Up Plus plan. Enjoy more speed, more channels, and free streaming for less. Plus, introducing Link Up More with up to 1 gig download speed. Download, stream, video call, share memes, and more. Get free installation when you sign up in-store or online today at discoverflow.co.
Hey, hello guys, welcome. Come have a seat.
Oh, this is so stylish and I love the fabric. Darlings, you must tell us where you got your new furnishings.
We got them locally at Standard. They've got new chic European furniture, crafted from high quality material.
Oh, Standard?
No, it's Standard, their brand new Hive collection.
Experience luxurious European furniture at a price you will love. The Hive collection, now exclusively available at Standard.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. It's a 7:13 a.m. on this beautiful Thursday morning, and it gets even more beautiful as we head on into Friday and we think about the weekend, most certainly. But in this interview, we get started this morning. We are chatting with none other than Rodney Piggott, and he's the chairman for Tobago CivilNet. And we're speaking about Tobago CivilNet's autonomy survey, most certainly which we heard about over the last few weeks, and definitely to get some feedback and perspective now as we're at the point of what are the findings indeed saying to us. Good morning to you, Mr. Rodney Piggott.
Good morning, Mrs. Skeet, and good morning to Tobago's Updates viewers around the world. Yes. And probably in space by now.
I'm going far and wide, far and wide. So as we get the conversation started, I want to start in terms of putting context. The Tobago CivilNet would have launched this comprehensive survey as it relates to a very passionate issue for us here in Tobago, and in fact even beyond Tobago, one with a great focus and attention. Probably not enough action, but great focus and attention.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about, what was the objective and the drive behind this in the first instance?
Well, in our discussions, we wanted to begin stirring the pot aggressively towards this issue of Tobago achieving its greater autonomy. We felt as though much wasn't being done about it, and it's currently stalled in our parliament. And so we wanted to begin to agitate conversations on that from the grassroots to stimulate our government officials, both here in THA and Parliament, to get this accomplished in this sitting of Parliament. And someone said, well, before we, jump out there and talk about, having forums to educate the people and raising discussions on it, let's see if we could find out how much the people know, what they know, where they are, get some sort of benchmark. And so let's launch a survey to that effect. And that's where the idea of a survey came in. So it's really preemptive to us wanting now to raise these forums in order to get the people really involved from the grassroots. And while the survey itself has started a lot of conversations, we know that the forums will address whatever concerns the people may have.
So ultimately it was about taking that sample out of the population to really give some sense of guidance, a sense of where we want to take things in terms of information and education.
Yes, exactly.
So let's dive on in. And I know when you would have been on before, there were numerous methods identified, etc., in terms of reaching out there and connecting with persons to be able to participate in the survey. So we want to dive on into the findings coming out. And let's start from the perspective of what was that overall appreciation or concept, and then we get into the numbers.
Well, we felt as though while the response wasn't great, it wasn't the greatest response there is, but it wasn't absolutely bad either. We know that because of the numbers, if you look at the numbers, one would say, well, it's not necessarily representative of the Tobago voice, so to speak. That's on paper. But one has to appreciate that when you move around Tobago and you talk to people, people really appreciated the fact that Tobago CivilNet did the survey. I had to come back to our group in one day and just kind of shout out at them, hey, my day was just inundated with people stopping me and congratulating me on what a great job they did. And the important thing is that they said that the 153 people that responded, that was my voice. They said what I wanted to say or how I felt. So even though the numbers, the statistical numbers themselves may say one thing, they may say, well, you can't really use these numbers to represent Tobago. You have like maybe a 75 to 80% confidence rating there. But the actual ground people, when you talk to the people on the ground who don't know A from B about statistics, they're not following statistics and numbers and what the computers say, they just know that based on the results that they have seen in the survey, that's exactly how they feel.
All right. Tell us a little bit about the familiarity that came out based on your respondents regarding an understanding of autonomy, and how they saw it, greater control, that kind of thing.
Right.
What percentage looked into that?
What we got, and you should have the numbers there, but what we got was about a good 94% said, we are familiar with this concept of autonomy. Now, we used the word familiar on purpose. We didn't want to use the word, what do you really know? We don't want to go that deep. We just wanted to know, your familiarity with it. Have you heard of this concept of Tobago's autonomy? And about a good 94% said yes, we are familiar with it, right? Now, that is instructive because a good 88% now said we need more information. So you see now you can look at the familiarity and say that familiarity is not really a deep knowledge, right? Not a clear understanding of it, because 88% now are saying we need more information, and that little piece of information is what we really wanted to get from the people. You see, and people are saying to us that even in some of the town hall meetings that the executive have been having around the country, there are people that have been stepping up to the microphone, speaking on the issue of the autonomy, and saying directly to the executives, we need more information. You see, so this is what I mean by you can't just look at the numbers and say, oh, because the numbers is low, let's disregard what is being said. It's tantamount to you being in an environment, let's say a room, everyone's in the same room. You have like 10 people in the same room, and it's getting uncomfortable in there, it's getting hot, but nobody wants to speak up, right? Because no one wants to be the person to break the silence, so to speak. And then one person speaks up, say, oh, it's hot in here. And then what do you hear? An exhale. Sure, you're right. It's sure hot in here. You see, people are really sitting back waiting for just one person to talk. And then you'll hear the exhalation. And this is what we're hearing now in the grassroots, in the civil society realm. We're hearing that exhalation. We're hearing people saying, I'm sure glad somebody said we need more information, because that's right, we need more information, you see? And so that's where the real crux of the matter really is what the people on the ground are now saying after the results have been in.
So another area that I want to get your perspective on as well, it's saying here, and this is a very interesting, 53% believe that Tobago is ready for autonomy, while 37% disagree, and then we have the balance. There might have just been wavering in between. What does this signal to you in terms of what we see as the outcome here? Probably just over 50% of the respondents of that belief. Do you think that that's a wider cross-section of what's happening in the Tobago space?
I think it is. Personally, I really think it is. I think what it's really saying is that while we're familiar with this subject, balance that against the fact that we need more information. Somewhere in the middle, we're ready. You see, so that 53% really is between that 94 and that 88. You see what I'm saying? It's like, yes, we're familiar, we need more information, you know, and here we're going to say we're ready for it, but we need more information, because you can't really be ready for something and then you need more information at the same time. So that's why you see that number, 53%, be lower than the number that says we're familiar with it, and even the number that says, you know, we need more information. It's angling towards giving the thumbs up, the green light, and say, let's go full speed ahead. But it's a number that says, let's proceed with caution. Before we jump full speed ahead, let's get that more information that the people need, because there may be something in there that we haven't gotten, right? So in all of the years of this drive for autonomy, the people today are saying something is still missing in all of the information that we've been getting. And we're hearing that on the ground, Julian. You're hearing from people when you talk about autonomy, some people think it's about, you know, Tobago just going its own way, right? Let's get up on our feet, let's walk, and let's literally walk out on Trinidad. We don't need you, you see? And so they're angling towards secession without saying the word. Some people are using the word independence without really saying the word. You see, but really what it is, and I think the Chief Secretary said it last, greater autonomy, that greater responsibility that Tobago actually needs. It's not necessarily that we want to sever ties with Trinidad. That's not what we're looking for at this point. What we're looking for is Tobago to just have more responsibility.
So does this therefore tie in with the, again, looking at one of the areas highlighted here, 65% believe that the central government exerted more influence over the affairs of Tobago, yet 84% expressed that the THA should have the greatest influence. So that ties into the very point that you're making in that regard.
Exactly. So you can see, even from the small number of respondents, and we have to go back to this because we want to definitely put it out there, that the number that responded is not necessarily on paper representative of the Tobago voice because we didn't achieve that confidence rating. But what you're hearing from the ground, in reality, you're hearing that exhalation and you're hearing people actually agreeing with what the 153 people said. So if all of those people now that are exhaling, that are saying, yes, that is my voice, if they actually responded to the survey, we would probably see the numbers being much larger in terms of the number of people that responded and said the same thing, because people are saying it now.
I want you very quickly to just elaborate for me. The governance of Tobago by the central government received negative ratings, with 39% considering it not very good, 27% saying very bad, and only 23% expressing positive views. What are you speaking today? Is it the relation that we're looking at, or the both working to the benefit of the island?
I think both. I think the relation that has been there for a while. I had the opportunity to peruse the Hansard from back in 2000, when the dispute resolution recommendation was being haggled in Parliament. And you know, when you hear, I think it was Pam Nicholson and Morgan Job, I believe is his name, when you heard the comments they were making, especially Miss Nicholson, the comments she was making then about the then government, which was UNC, not PNM, about how they were treating Tobago and neglecting Tobago. It was almost like a page out of Walter Rodney's book, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. One could probably say this is what they were saying was how Trinidad's underdeveloped Tobago, because the same thing that is being said was said then back in 2000. That's 23 years ago. Is the same thing that is being said now, and it's a different government in place. So one must now wonder, is the relationship between central government and Tobago one of the administration that's in place, whether it's what party is in place, or is it almost like a black book that each administration comes in and looks at the black book, okay, keep Tobago where they are, and everyone just kind of follows that script, you see. So what you're hearing there are people recognizing that how Tobago is literally being treated, where Tobago is now in its infrastructure development, should have been further along based on the fact that it is Trinidad and Tobago. Some people like to make the argument that, you know, well, some of that money, you know, is Toco and Mayaro and all of those places. But it's not Trinidad and Mayaro. It's not Trinidad and Toco. It's Trinidad and Tobago. So those two islands, if you will, should be on equal footing in terms of how the central government responds to them both. One should not be responded to in a larger sense with more a focus than the other. And what people are seeing in that response, what people are saying is, it appears to us that central government functions more like the government of Trinidad, and Tobago is merely an appendage to Trinidad. That's what the people are really saying in that sort of response.
All right, and very quickly for us, before we close this morning, what's the next step for the Tobago Civil Net coming out of these findings?
Right, so the next step now is to do as we initially wanted to do. Now that we have these results now, we are now in the lab looking to put together several forums, and we don't just want to focus the forums in Scarborough only. So we want to go Scarborough, we want to go up east, we want to go down west, and then we want to go over to the north side. So we want to have at least 4 comprehensive forums drawing on those subject matter experts in the area of Tobago's greater autonomy drive, and then respond now to the information deficit that the people expressed that they have in that 88% saying we need more information. So we now need to go to the people and say, open up now. Let's hear what it is that you don't understand about this autonomy drive. Some people want to know, why is it that it did not go forward? in the last iteration. That needs to be explained to the people in full why it did not go forward. What it is about what is currently in the bills that is a deal breaker that must be fixed in order for us to really go forward meaningfully and have greater autonomy for Tobago passed in this sitting of the House.
All right, thank you very much there again, Rodney Pigott, certainly bringing us up to speed in terms of the findings and the information coming out. And, you know, this is certainly, as I mentioned before, an area of focus, an area that requires the necessary attention, and most certainly we look forward to the attention that will come to it. And we see here taking a significant role, one of our NGOs here in Tobago, the Tobago CivilNet. And just as a reminder to persons, you can connect with them and find them via Facebook, as well as you can also connect with them at tobagocivilnet@gmail.com, or you can also contact Mr. Pigott himself at 323-1958. So viewers, we say thank you very much again for joining us here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Each and every one of you continuing to choose the Tobago Updates Morning Show. And in fact, you may not know, or you may know, but Mr. Rodney Pigott is certainly one of our loyal viewers. So he's going to join me now as we head on out to the break to tell you, remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McCall Group.
Suffering with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. We been drinking with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. Sign up now for 50% off plus a chance to win over $100,000 in prizes. Call 800-4663.
Let me hear you. Alright, stop, Mickey. Hear what? You will not sing in the concert, right? We will leave it for the professionals. You see, December 2nd, Harmon is having a concert. That's the reason. You will pay your money and come. Because I know you're cheap, we have a package deal. Right? So you can bring your friends, bring your family, wherever, and you'll be entitled for the package deal. Or there's an early bird, because I know you're real cheap. Yeah, so you can capitalize on the early bird. For those of us who are a little bougie, we have premium seating and so on. We get complimentary drinks, special parking, etc. Here who in the concert, we have people like Kashi Wilson. We have, you like that? We have Divine Voices. We having a full band. And we having drama. Yeah, we having drama. So make sure you are there and watch till the end of the video for more information and tickets.
Pregnant? No.
Marie, why are you in here?
That can't be true.
No.
I never had sex. We never had sex? Oh. Nah, that had to be a mistake. Okay.
on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adana Kambi and we continue conversations with our guests. But before we do, I know we've already exited the birthday segment, but today we can make an exception. We want to celebrate one of our very own, Mr. Denzel Hislop. I hope they have the photo there for us to celebrate him today. It is his birthday, and we want to say happy birthday to a fine young man, a gentleman at that, you know, making his own way there in life. And I just really want to appreciate you. Happy birthday is coming from your mom, your dad, your auntie, your brother, your sister, your grandparents, aunties and uncles. We want to wish you a very, very happy birthday today. And we pray God's blessings upon your life as you continue to make your way here in this life as a young man upcoming. Happy birthday, Denzel. We all love you. Right, thank you guys. We continue conversations this morning and we're talking about AIDS HIV workshop. And in studio, we're speaking with Miss Cherish Dacon. She's the Corporate Communications Officer at OPM CAST, as well as Delise Nancy's Administrative Assistant in the same division, OPM CAST. We're talking about HIV and AIDS workshop. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to the program. We're happy to have you.
Thanks for having us.
Right. So we know we're heading into December, and we're going to be talking about this workshop. So tell us a little bit about it. Tell us about the significance about it and what we can expect from it.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So we are here on behalf of the Office of the Prime Minister, Central Administrative Services, Tobago. And the initiative is, well, World AIDS Day will be celebrated on the 1st of December. And we thought it would be a good idea for us to go out to the public, yes, to commemorate the celebration of World AIDS Day, as well as to create greater awareness of the Office of the Prime Minister and what we do, what we're about, the services that we offer. So that is really the initiative that we'll be having, celebration as well as creating awareness.
Mm-hmm. And this year's theme is actually Let Communities Lead. And so in keeping with that theme, we know that education is the first step in empowering communities to lead in the fight against HIV and AIDS. And so our idea was to utilize the Esplanade as a space where persons from all walks of life can come together, learn more about HIV and AIDS, learn more about how you can fight stigma, how to treat persons living with HIV and AIDS, while strengthening bonds across our communities in celebration of this day.
And I was actually going to speak about that because there is a stigma, whether we want to accept it or not, there is a stigma about people living with AIDS and HIV, and people think that is, you know, something that you could catch, right? And of course, the public education and the awareness about this is very important. And I want you to speak a little bit about why it is important to break the stigma, both for the person who is living with the disease and the person who thinks this is something I could catch if I touch you,
right? And so one of the good things about this upcoming workshop is that we have two facilitators who will be coming to the subject from very different perspectives. First, we have Dr. Nathaniel Duke, who is Chief of Staff at the Roxborough Hospital and a leading infectious disease specialist. And so he will be discussing it from his own medical experience and expertise. But we also have Ms. Sira Williams, who herself is a person living with HIV and who has a wealth of knowledge and experience, and she's also a local activist and advocate for persons living with HIV and AIDS. And so we believe that both of their perspectives will play a really huge role in educating persons, one from just the medical sense on how you can prevent the spread of the virus, how the virus is spread, and also from that more social sense of stigma and fighting myths and misconceptions around the virus.
And you're talking about building communities. Tell me again the theme. I know it had something with communities in it. Tell me.
So the theme is Let Communities Lead.
Right. So communities, I mean, you know, a long time I used to say it takes a village.
Right.
Not just to raise a child, but to establish anything. It really takes a community to get it done. So by talking about letting a community lead, I think this is the right way in terms of educating the said community to lead this this cause. And how do you expect, or what is your plan or your objectives in terms of outside of the public education, how is the community going to lead now this charge? Now that they are aware of the do's and the don'ts and the breaking of the stigma and all of these, the insight, how are we now going to lead as a community where we're controlling and managing and living with this virus is concerned?
Well, it is our hope that the persons who attend this workshop will go on to share the information that they have learned and also put in place some of the behavioral aspects of the workshop. So in terms of regular testing, staying away from avoiding risky behaviors, and in that way, and also sharing that knowledge with other persons. So in that way, we anticipate that this will lead to more sharing of knowledge and knowledge transfer, as well as engaging in safe and healthy behaviors and empowering not just the people who attend, but people within their network to make safe decisions about their health.
And I want to talk about Deborah a little bit, because I know her personally, and I know that she is somebody, she's full of life. She is, and she's very, very passionate about anything she does, not just the activism, but whatever she does, she gives her all. So it is possible for you to live and thrive. I have worked with her, and I know that there's not something to be afraid of as long as you have the education, which is what you guys are doing now. It will help our communities to embrace and also to support persons who are living with, and also to protect yourselves as well as you go on. You spoke about other initiatives that are going to be that are being rolled out, or services that are offered by the Office of the Prime Minister. So tell us a little bit about that before we continue on this topic.
Okay. Well, Central Administrative Services Tobago is a department under the Office of the Prime Minister, and what we do is we provide a range of essential administrative, legal and meteorological services to persons in Tobago. So that it really is a broad range of services, stemming from, for example, persons often come in to cash their pension checks. We provide a lot of support to retired government pensioners. We also, through the Meteorological Services Division, provide critical weather updates. We would love to encourage everyone to download the TT Met app to get instant access to those updates. A lot of persons are familiar with those weather updates, but what a lot of persons don't know is that the Meteorological Services Division, they also provide critical weather updates to a broad range of stakeholders, from schools, hospitals, the airport as well. We also provide registry services, so civil registry, land registry services, so everyone knows about registering for your birth paper, death certificates, those types of things. So if persons want to learn more about our services, if you can't come down to the Esplanade tomorrow, we also encourage you to stop by, pay us a visit, give us a call, visit our website, www.cas.gov.tt, or check us out on Facebook. Feel free to DM us. We're always happy to talk about our services.
Awesome. And we're talking about the workshop tomorrow. So it's happening tomorrow at the Esplanade, starting from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. What can people expect when they come there? Will there be booths? Will there be a fair? How is the workshop structured?
Okay, so the workshop is stemming towards young people. We will have engaged the primary schools, secondary schools, as well as we would have posted it on our social media. So the public is also invited to attend. More so, we will be having the facilitators, Dr. Nathaniel Duke and Ms. Sira Williams. They will be hosting sessions. There will be interactive sessions mostly after they would have presented, just to ensure that the information relayed is received and they internalize it so that they could go forward with that information. So we will have a booth from CAST as well, with employees who will be able to share further information based on questions that any of the public members would have, or the students. So that's basically the initiative that we'll be having tomorrow.
All right, so it's open to the public. Both primary and secondary schools will be in attendance, as well as for general information for our publics. You are all invited. It's taking place there tomorrow at the Milford Road Esplanade from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with facilitators Dr. Nathaniel Duke and Ms. Sira Williams. I can almost say that the information that you will receive will actually make a mark on your mind. It will change your mind, actually, and it will help you whether you are someone who is living with this virus, or you are someone who is curious about how this spread is controlled and how you interact with someone living with the virus, I believe the information, of course, is going to be very, very good for you to receive, so you know how to proceed. Is there anything else you want to share with our viewers before we go this morning?
Just wear red and join us on the Esplanade
right
tomorrow.
So we're wearing red. Red is the color that we're going to be wearing tomorrow to participate in the not participate, but of course participate, because it's a workshop. So once you're turning up there tomorrow, if you have something, but even if you don't have a red dress, find a red button, a red pin, a red t-shirt, a red ribbon, something, anything red to show support for the workshop, which takes place tomorrow at the Scarborough Esplanade, promptly from 10 a.m. all the way to 2 p.m. All are invited. The information, of course, is very important, and it will help you to deal with and to interact with persons who are living, thriving, and surviving with the virus, HIV and AIDS. I want to say thank you to you two ladies for coming on this morning and sharing this information with us and encouraging our viewers to be a part of this very meaningful initiative. We thank you, of course, for sharing information as it relates to services provided by the Office of the Prime Minister CAST. They're in Tobago, and of course they said you can follow their social media pages, or you could even visit them right there. And what do you call that stretch? That is where your building is located.
Orange Hill Road.
Right.
Sings Building.
Right, Sings Building on Orange Hill Road. So you can check them out there as well. But there will be booths tomorrow at the workshop, so you can also get information there and interact with their co-workers, their colleagues, members of staff of the Office of the Prime Minister. Right, viewers, of course, we're going to go for a break, but before we go for a break, I want to share a little more information again about the Scarborough RC School Book Fair. It is a fundraising event. There are projects that are ongoing, and we need to raise some funds. And what better way than to buy books? Buy a book for someone as a Christmas gift. Stock up your own home library, because remember, reading is the key to children's success. So all books are available. A number of books are available, and they're affordable. Right, and the proceeds, of course, go towards the school to assist in different projects and ventures. So come in to the Scarborough RC School today. It's happening today from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the Scarborough RC Primary School Library, which is at the left side of the school office. So come on down. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for a break, and when we return, we continue conversations with our guests, and I'm going to engage our guests in studio this morning to take us to the break, as we encourage you guys to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be back.
This Christmas we celebrating, cause B-Mobile they coming with rating. So brace yourself for plenty prices, cause this season will be your nice. It's the most deals and the most vibes and the most cars and the most price, the most giveaways, the most para. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile. I want a Christmas season with B-Mobile. Bring the sorrel with us to a Merry Christmas. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
Top up, buy a plan, sign up, or pay your bills to enjoy the best Tobago Christmas. B-Mobile, life is on.
The Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development has relocated its Crown Point office to Glen Road in Scarborough to better serve you, our clients. Our main office is located at the corner of Glen Road and Glen Road Branch Number 1, the building formerly occupied by COSTAT. Our grant and electrical inspectorate services can be accessed at Number 2 Montessori Drive in Glen Road, Building 1 and 2.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Put a smile on your face When you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Let me hear you.
Fall on your knees.
Ooh, alright, stop, Mickey. Hear what? You will not sing in the concert, right? We will leave it for the professionals. You see, December 2nd, Harmon is having a concert. That's the reason. You will pay your money and come. Because I know you're cheap, we have a package deal. Right? Okay. So you can bring your friends, bring your family, wherever, and you'll be entitled for the package deal. Or there's an early bird because I know you're real cheap. Yeah, so you can capitalize on the early bird. For those of us who love bougie, we have premium seating and so on. We get complimentary drinks, special parking, etc. Here who in the concert, we have people like Kashi Wilson. We have, you like that? We have Divine Voices. We having a full band. And we having drama. Yeah, we having drama. So make sure you are there and watch till the end of the video for more information and tickets.
Pregnant? No.
Marie, why are you in here?
That can't be true.
No.
I never had sex. You never had sex? Oh. Nah, that had to be a mistake. Okay.
Welcome back, viewers, to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. And there you saw that little promo ad. The Harmon School of SDA presents "'Tis the Season," a Christmas concert that is happening soon. And of course, we're speaking this morning with Shabiki Vifias. He's a playwright and director of this event. So we are going straight on over to that conversation to get more information. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to our program.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Right. So we're talking about "'Tis the Season." It's Christmas time, Yuletide season. So we're celebrating, and we're going to have this concert taking place. So give us some information on this this concert, what we can expect, what day is it taking place, how much it costs to get there, and all the juicy information that will lead us to this grand concert taking place.
All right, great. So to all our viewers, first of all, I want to let you know that Harmon School, of course, when we come, Harmon come, we come real good. And so we have a concert night at, gates open from approximately 7 p.m. And we have like 3 categories of tickets. We have premium. The cost is $175. You will have your seating, you will have your refreshment for the night, front row seats, parking. So you don't have to worry. Or, you show up, you will have all of that available for you. And then we have the regular admission for adults, individuals 12 years and over, a total of $120 for regular admission, as long as over 12 years old. And then we have Harmon students and students ticket for merely $60. I mean, it's nothing much, but trust me, you are going to have a wonderful night. We have singing, of course. You will listen to spoken word. We have drama. Drama is like the highlight of the night. And so one of the things we would have done is that we wrote a play. Mr. Sir Mira Kennedy, Miss Patricia Redhead, and myself. And Miss Redden and I, we worked as the directors. We still have a lot of work to do, but one of the things I am happy about is the fact that each and every staff member came together so that we are working assiduously to ensure that this night be a success. And so we want to kind of bring the stage play drama effect. So it is not like the usual, you just see a 5 minutes play or a 10 minutes play. No, it's longer than that. And it will be a wonderful night. You can't afford to miss it. And sitting next to me, we have one of our cast members, Janisha Winchester, who is playing the role of Chantel this weekend. So I'm inviting everyone, come out and let's have a wonderful time Saturday night, starting at 7. I mean, gates open at 7, but start time, we'll start a little later. So when you come, you get your items to purchase. whatever snack, whatever drink. So when you come, you don't really have to get up until the intermission again. And so, yes.
But I am holding you to that because as your introduction, you said when Harmon SDA comes, we come. So expect when your guests come, they come in too, and they come in to see what you're coming with. So I really like that introduction and the confidence there as you prepare to host this event, this production of the Yuletide season. We're talking about drama, you talk about singing, and of course we're talking about the event. I want to hear a little bit more about this VIP ticket, what this VIP ticket affords you, because to me, I almost hear something like valet service there. So correct me if I'm wrong and tell me exactly what the VIP covers. For those of the viewers who missed that part.
All right, good. So first of all, you're paying $175. We had an early bird special earlier where individuals up to Monday gone, you could have gotten your ticket for $150. However, it's $175 now. You're having parking. You know, parking is always an issue. And so we have reserved parking for you. So your names will be down, so you will have your place to park. Secondly, when you enter, you will have front row seat. We're talking here, you come in to not just listen to music and look at performance, but we are talking about drama. And you know, any good drama, you want to be front stage. So you want to be in front there. So definitely you will have your front row seating. And so that's the second thing you will get to enjoy. Thirdly, you don't even have to purchase anything. We will bring your items for you. That is included in the package. So you will be served. So you just imagine you're sitting there and the only reason why you're getting up is to go to the washroom. Nothing else. And so, so that's
awesome
the for you.
Awesome service there. So for those of you who don't want to miss a beat, VIP is the way to go. You're getting special treatment there. And of course, other tickets for other categories are available. And this is taking place when? On Saturday?
Saturday night, right at Harmon School compound, the auditorium. Come on, you just have to be here.
Right, and we sitting next to you is one of the members of the cast. Tell us a little bit, without giving us too much information, about your character, or at least a little bit about the drama itself. What can we expect coming from this drama?
Well, you can expect a lot of dramatic expressions from my character. She is the friend of the main character, and you can expect a lot of attitude from her. And about the drama, there's a lot of dramatic. From the start of the show, you'll see a lot of dramatic expressions from each character. You'll quite be able to feel what each character is feeling from the drama and what kind of attitude they're giving, and each character has their own attitude. No one character has the same attitude from them, and there'll be plenty of surprises during the drama, because some of the parts I even got surprised by myself.
Wow, so we're talking about something engaging.
Yeah,
you're talking about sitting at the edge of your seat. This is what we're talking about, right?
I want to plug in something because it's like, you know, we have student actors and actresses. Our entire cast is made up of students in 3rd form, 4th form, 5th form. And even, I mean, as when myself and Miss Redhead, especially when we worked with them, we were surprised by some of the talents we saw coming forward, because when we ran an audition, especially Chantel's role, played by Janisha, I mean, I've taught this student, but I've never seen that side of her. And so right away she came out like, hey, we need to give her a major role Saturday night. And so I'm saying that we have tried to include our young people. Yes, teachers could have done it, but we wanted to showcase the talents of our young people. I mean, just ranging ages 14 to about 16 thereabout. And so I just want to encourage the audience to let us not, many of our students who may seem unassuming, they can do so much and expect a lot from our students. I am not saying it may be 100% perfect, but I know they are excited, they're prepared, and they're just ready to do what they have been called to do.
And of course, you know, I always like to hear when young people are involved in activities like this. Of course, I always encourage our youth to be a part of something that is meaningful, something they can learn from and develop skills for future. So it's something really exciting to be a part of. I'm so happy that this is happening on a Saturday. Gates open from 7 p.m. and the show starts at
7:45.
7:45 is showtime. So for those of you who are making it there, you want to get there before showtime. Gates are open from 7 p.m. So you could start making your way down there at the Harmon School of SDA for the Tis the Season production, which takes place this Saturday, 7 p.m. Tickets are available. Tell us the prices one more time and where they can access these tickets.
Beautiful. So the prices for children and Harmon students, $60. That's children 12 and below. For regular admission, $120. And for the VIP with your special treatment, $175. You can collect your tickets at our school. You can call just check online, see the number for Harmon School. If you know a teacher working here, you can contact us. Or you can even pay the night of the event. So for example, but one of the things I must let you know, audience, especially for our VIP members, you must let us know at least by this evening that, hey, definitely, because remember, we're catering for you. And so at the end of the day, by tomorrow, we're putting all systems in place so we cater for you if it's X amount. And so you especially need to contact us early because we will not be able to cater for you this Saturday night. So get your tickets right at Harmon School, check the security booth, check the office here, contact our teachers, our staff members, and yeah, we're all going to have a wonderful time.
Awesome. So for those of you who are paying for your tickets at the door, especially if you want to get there for VIP and you don't have your ticket in hand, but you want that experience when you get there, please let them know by this evening latest for the VIP experience. Thank you, ladies, for joining us on the show this morning and telling us about the season of Christmas, your program that is coming on this Saturday evening. That's 7:45 p.m. Gates are open from 7 p.m. So people buy your tickets, call them, check them out on Facebook, visit the office to collect your tickets to be there. It's going to be a Yuletide season. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We're always happy when you join us here on the morning show on Tobago Updates. We are always happy to have you. We have this program because you view us and we appreciate you so very much. We thank you for staying with us. Of course, this is where we end the morning show, but this is not where we end programming today. We are going to go on over to Beneath the Surface, and this morning we're speaking with Councillor Sira Williams. So you want to stay tuned for that, which is coming up next. And in the meantime, of course, I'm going to invite you to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be back.
The initiative, aligned with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, aims to protect and promote the relevance of Tobago's underwater past.
Tobago, as you know, is an island that's exceedingly rich in history. Normally, when we talk about the island being very rich in history, our reference is to the land, all right? But as you know and appreciate, our history is also quite immense and large underwater.
Acknowledging a tumultuous history suffered on to Trinidad and Tobago by the Dutch, Ambassador to the Kingdom of the Netherlands, His Excellency Cornelius Hirschbach, explains that the countries have since enjoyed excellent bilateral relations. This continues today with the launch of the Maritime Archaeological Diving Training.
We believe that cultural heritage is of great value in an ever-changing world. Knowledge of the past helps us all to understand the here and now, as well as supporting our future endeavours. This appreciation for each other's countries continues to this very day. My gratitude is also, of course, to the various representatives of the THA, with whom we jointly celebrate the start of this training today.
The marine exploration of Tobago has captured the attention of historical enthusiasts and researchers, given the many battles fought from the 16th to the 18th century.
Given the historical significance of each and every ruin, artifact, and
structural that remains submerged in our marine spaces, namely Rockley Bay, which is the site of this project, which is adjacent to our current port of entry at Scarborough. This project provides an avenue to gain much needed research, development, and the possibility of eventual excavation of such artifacts, which even further provides Tobago with an attraction worth coming to see, experience, and hear about.
Specialist in maritime archaeology and underwater cultural heritage management, Professor Martijn Manders, will lead the exercise.
We're doing training, so we are going into the classroom and we do the theory again. But not only that, we're picking up our dive stuff and we're going out. And we're doing underwater archaeology, but especially underwater archaeological heritage management. That means we're not just picking things up from the seabed and putting them into a museum. We're thinking about how can we implement cultural heritage into society.
A total of 18 university students from throughout the region will be guided by archaeological diving experts over a 3-week period. During this time, they are also expected to encourage community interaction. I'm Ryan McCool for Let's Talk Tobago.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
This Christmas, speed is on us. Get up to 300 megabits per second of speed with our new Link Up Plus plan. Enjoy more speed, more channels, and free streaming for less. Plus, introducing Link Up More with up to 1 gig download speed. Download, stream, video call, share memes, and more. Get free installation when you sign up in-store online today at discoverflow.co.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McCall Group.
Morning viewers, all the listeners all over the world who are seeing us now. I'm Jerry McFarlane, host of this program you're about to see, Beyond the Surface, coming to you from the studios of Tobago Updates Television right here in Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. Just had a lovely view earlier just before I came on of Speyside. Wow, phenomenal. And then you came back to the Port Mall and the Esplanade from that air shot. It was very lovely, boy. Anyway, congrats to you guys, you technicians who prepare for this program just like I do. But this morning, I have the distinct honor. She's more than a good friend of mine and, you know, fellow Plymouthian and so on, and, you know, is now playing an important role in the Tobago House of Assembly. So she's one of those persons that we're interviewing this morning, and I can tell you she has a proud record of achievements, you know, just starting from the community. However, we're going to get into that now. It takes pride in me introducing the, almost said the venerable, you know, but honorable Councillor Sira Williams. I find I should take out the Williams, you know. Where are you going with this Williams still?
It's mine.
Yeah. How are you this morning?
I am fine, I'm good, happy to be alive, experiencing soundness of mind, good health. and still being able to be here.
So wait, no, you in Plymouth and I in Plymouth. I hear you move out. It's true?
Never.
So wait, you have to be on occasions like these where we have to see and chat?
Well, I pass you every day or every time I leave or in fact, every time I attempt to leave the village, I have to pass you. So you
and
must
you can't
place
pass
yourself
or take up the phone and call me sometimes.
You must place yourself in prominent places, in a prominent spot for me to see you.
Yeah. All right, we have plenty of things to talk about.
We do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let us hear, what is your responsibility in the THA? Right.
All right. So I was appointed as counselor as part of the team led by Chief Secretary, the Honorable Farley Travis Augustine, in December 2021. And I was then appointed Assistant Secretary in the Office of the Chief Administrator with responsibilities for public administration, planning, and labor.
And labor?
And labor.
And how are you managing that?
Well, I am doing fine. I think what has helped me a great deal is the public service experience. That it served me well then, and it is serving me well now.
Even better now?
Yes, I think so, because...
how many years in the public service?
About 41.
Oh, gosh.
About 41.
I thought it was 42. I just showed us one.
No. 1977, July to March 2018.
Was so long at home? I thought you...
I was home for 4 years because, and it's so coincidental that my last day of work, actual work, before proceeding on leave before retirement, was on the 11th of December 2017. And the appointment to the Office of Councillor was on the 10th of December 2021. So 4 years, date to date.
Almost exactly.
Yes, right? So I had a 4-year break. Home
and still was involved in community activities. But let us go to the community and your work in the community before we get to the actual assembly responsibilities and so on. That we have to talk about that, because this is what made you what you are and made you known for the no-nonsense, helpful, charming, I should say, some people may say, and so on. What made you this person? The Plymouth community or parenting?
Well, both. But remember, Plymouth is what it is. We belong to each other, all right? I often say, no matter how we may war in village, when we cross bridge, you don't interfere with us. We join forces out there. So I grew up there, and you see where I have lived most of my life, front road, as we would say. So you can't escape being involved. Well, of course, I like the church. Church activities. I was involved with village council. I served as president for a few years. I served with Heritage, and of course, you remember your football, Plymouth Football League, and so on. So I was there. You can't help, because remember, I had brothers who were involved with sports, and my father will tag me along wherever Dazzlers was being played, playing, and so on.
I can't help but remember Dazzlers days,
So he will tag me along. There was this football club. He played with Broadway Tigers. That was the one by contractor. Sunjet, Bidabai Sunjet was down in my area. So you had to be tagged along. So there was no choice of being involved, all right? I think I'm involved in people's lives, sometimes probably more than they would want me to, but they don't have a choice. All right? Because you want people to do better. You want people to be encouraged that where you started the year at January 1st, that you are not in the same spot at December 31st. At least make a step. So that is my thing. All right? Sometimes I'm teacher by force. I remember taking my brother's grandchildren, because when you question them in their readiness for sea and so on, and they tell you where they're at, and you say, but no, you can't be. No, you can't be in my household and be where you are. So I would tell their parents that they had to report to my house by 4. So whether I am there or not, they had to sit and wait. And then they started bringing their little friends. So sometimes I have a living room filled with little ones. And of course, you know, they get little licks and these things and so on. But they have done well. So you continue that. That continued outside of my family.
Especially that was leading up to common entrance.
Yes, to see.
What
yeah.
was called common entrance at the time.
No, well, I took them when common entrance was done with. Common entrance ended in 2000. Right? So these are the ones who are doing C. So that's it.
But what about your Plymouth school time with people like Winford Carrington and Boomer Stewart and so on?
Yeah, the best. It's unrivaled. For me, Plymouth Anglican was the greatest primary school to have existed. We moved from, remember we had people like Teacher Vida first, and then Mr. Carrington came. Well, he was creme de la creme. But Jerry, you remember the strictness of our lives. We had to walk on the correct side of the road, facing oncoming traffic. We couldn't eat on the street in pairs.
Or single file.
Yes.
And people used to shout out, "Oi, wedding!"
Right.
Remember that?
And he would walk
some of the villagers
the
really kind of laugh.
He would walk the streets at 9 a.m. when the bell rings, and warn to you if he met you taking your own sweet time. I remember I went home for lunch one day, and you know where Mr. Leaford's shop was, on our side of the street. So my mother sent me to the shop, and I did not cross the road to walk facing oncoming traffic. I just ran up the street on the same side. And those days he had monitors, prefects. And when I got back to school at 1 o'clock, my name was called as having disobeyed the school rules. I said, boy, I don't get trouble. And the report was that I was seen between 12:15, I think, and 12:55, walking on the oncoming. So I told him, my mother sent me to the shop, and it was on a few doors up. And he said to me, between 9 and 3:30, 9 a.m. and 3:30 p.m., he's responsible for my life. He allows me to go home to have a meal. My mother can't break his rules, and he cut my tail good and good. But
I never forget that.
No, I never did it again. But he laid the foundation for us. In those days,
before he came, we wasn't that strict, as students so on.
But besides the strictness in behavior and attitude to life, with the lack of technology, not even, newspapers, not many homes bought a newspaper every day. He instilled in us that we must be the head and not the tail. He drilled that into us. I remember he took us to the cinema to see Sound of Music. It was $1 by bus. And I could imagine how our parents had to scramble to get this $1. And about 2 weeks after, he had this thing with man the blinds, the precision in which the dividing screens would be moved and placed in a particular order. And when he gives the command at the end of his address to the school, the blinds would be put back in place. And he asked us about the theme song for the movie Sound of Music. Well, we know about theme. We have never heard a word. We don't know what theme was. So all of us who went to the cinema stood there. And when he got his strap and he flogged the first person, by the time he got to the third, we all thought probably, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So we started to sing, do, a there, a female there. And then he said, oh, you got it. Right? So theme. And that is what he did to us. We were involved in everything.
And you had to think.
Of course.
That is what I liked about him.
Right?
You had to think. You can't
we were so well behaved that there was a recreation ground where I think Mr. Carut has a hotel now at Buku traffic lights. And we would walk from Plymouth to there to support either our football or cricket team without a teacher or a parent. And we had to walk in pairs to there and back. So the discipline, all right? You had to do well academically, and those who were not so academically inclined, he ensured that there was vocational training. Remember, he used to farm them out to Mr. Lee Cent and these guys in the village who were tradesmen, or there was a center at Black Rock and one at Mason Hall. So he catered. He was very perceptive. He knew which way you were going, what street, and he channeled us that way. I would forever be grateful to Wilford T. Carrington.
Wilford T. Carrington.
Yes.
Yeah. Major impact on many of us who came through that period in Plymouth. So you're involved in other things as well, things like cultural activities, sports, your football, and that kind of thing. Heritage to some extent?
Well, now I'm not involved with the heritage because for a number of years, the production at Plymouth was handled from the center. All right, I think this year may be the first time in a long time that the village council had any major role, right? I stand corrected. But leave it for the young people. No, I will, you know, if there's advice needed, I will give, all right? I will follow Stokely Vale, sometimes not as much as I would want to. But of course, you know, you remain patriotic, loyal, win, lose or draw. Plymouth.
Yeah, and people refer to you as the salt of the community. You're involved in every living thing they could think about.
I try where I can. I will, because you cannot live, one cannot live isolated. Cannot, all right? Because when there is trouble, you holler, we run as a village, all right? With their free, so there is no need for isolation. Right?
Yeah. So let's get back now to, that's a nice little history of your activities in the community and your involvement in politics that led you to where you are. Nobody didn't have to force you to get into politics or to choose a side or a candidate. I understand you were even considered for candidacy.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. My political alertness started with my mother. She was from Mount St. George, so Tobago East. And from a child, she regaled me with the tales of Fargo, APT James, and she will talk about Bigot and these guys. She talked about when Butler and they coming to have meetings, how the word will come and they will gather at Georgefield Junction, and sometimes they're late in coming. They would go back home, and then in the middle of the night, the noise will come. They meet, they're here. So they go back out with their flambeaux and so on. So
with the flambeaux at the time?
Yeah. And so she was brought up on that. Hard work, making yourself better. This politics of the movement, not sitting down. You must be able to think, listen to all sides, and make conscious decisions for yourself based on facts and not necessarily hearsay. So I grew up on that. And then what I think was the turning point for me in 1976 is that we had sixth form. And the voting age was lowered from 21 to 18. So people like myself voted for the first time. And of course, we say, out goes the PNM. And by the time the cabinet was formed, there was no ministry for Tobago affairs. So Tobago was turned on its head politically. And I started in the public service a few months after that. And Jerry, there is nothing could make me vote for PNM after that experience in that. Listen, I started at Sandy Hall. Well, it was still Tobago County Council. And the pressures, we worked, we can't get paid. Then I worked there.
All the files, I understand, was sent
6 weeks.
back to Trinidad?
6 weeks. I don't think the files were sent, but and then I was appointed temporarily at Works. So we were now under the Ministry of works, 1 to 3 Edward Street, Port of Spain. So every voucher, every directive, every instruction had to come from 1 to 3 Edward Street. People like myself worked for 9 months before getting a day's pay. We got to work at 8 a.m. and in that day, you know, getting to work late was taboo with your parents. You can't get to work late. So we got to work at 8. And every voucher had to be prepared to be sent to Trinidad so that it could be checked for correctness, passed for payment, and checks issued. So we worked from 8 a.m. to like 2 a.m. the next day, just as we are, because an officer had to go to Trinidad on the first flight every day, Monday to Friday.
What?
With this,
Really?
of course, to take vouchers, every voucher, every pay sheet, every voucher for goods and services. We prepared and the officer. So we worked 8 a.m. to 1, 2 a.m. the next day. We couldn't go home because everything had to be ready. And an officer would take the bag, go to Trinidad, and you hope that there was not an error on anything that was done, because it meant a supplier couldn't be paid, it meant civil servants couldn't be paid, it meant the daily rated people couldn't be paid. And we worked like that for years at that old works building. That for me was a slap in the face of Tobagonians for exercising their civic duty and for exercising their opinion, political or otherwise, as guaranteed by the Constitution. And as right-thinking people, we suffered. And that continued until caste was created, right? So our vouchers were now taken up the street, well, what we'll call the treasury. That is what brought a little ease to Tobagonian. We suffered when we had to get an approval as civil servants. You had to go down the service commissions department. Well, we had to go to works first. Those days you didn't say HR, the personnel department was at the corner of Queen and Henry Street. You had to go there. You had to sit down and beg. They had to look for the recommendation that came. Sometimes they tell you, carry it up to the service commission. The service commission was on Charlotte Street, 151B Charlotte Street, opposite the hospital. You had to walk up Charlotte Street, carry it, beg somebody in the service commission, please help us. It was a very demeaning period in our lives as Tobagonians. It just wasn't right. And we suffered and we endured. And then, of course, you know, we had our champion, Mr. Robinson. And the establishment of the Tobago House of Assembly is what brought the little ease. And sometimes it wasn't easy because there were officers.
But before the THA, they had CAS.
Yes, so we started
Central Administrative
Services Tobago. And then that is what brought a little ease. And then there was the...
And then they had a permanent secretary assigned.
Yes, yes.
But the permanent secretary is also always there, even when they send things to Trinidad.
No.
When they dismantled the ministry, they didn't have a permanent secretary.
No, there was no Ministry for Tobago Affairs anymore. So there was no need for PS.
Oh, okay.
Right? There was no need for PS. Right? So there was the chairman at the county council. Right? But that period.
Yeah. We have to go for a quick break. But before we go for a break, I just want to say Scarborough RC have their fundraising book fair at the Scarborough RC School today from 9:30 to 4:30. So try and get your book fair. Oh my God, they have the thing right up there, man. Scarborough RC Book Fair is today 9 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. at Scarborough RC. As they say at the Scarborough RC and the fundraising team, reading is key to children's success. Go and get your books. I saw some of those books, and the value of some of those books is extremely important and really reasonable. So get your books today at the Scarborough Roman Catholic School Library. Do what you could and make your children read. So we go for a quick break and come back.
The energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Suffering with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. We been drinking with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. Sign up now for 50% off plus a chance to win over $100,000 in prizes. Call 800-4663.
Yes, we back, folks, and we continue to be chatting here with Sira Williams, or I am told that I must always say the Williams, and maybe always say the O as well. But Sira, we want to deal with your responsibilities currently at the Tobago House of Assembly, where responsibility administration, public administration, planning, and labor. What did public administration comprise of?
Well, public administration in itself has to do with the implementation of government policies and so on. So you're planning, you're controlling, you're directing that. And in this case, with
assembly policy as well.
And I was just going to say, in this case, most importantly, the Tobago House of Assembly, right, is not just at the national level, but also whatever policies that the THA has constitutional rights for under the 5th schedule and so on, all right? So you're responsible for implementing, all right? And implementation means it must be done transparently, there must be accountability, it must benefit all in the same way, no
They can't
bias,
discriminate.
no, and so on, right?
No room for nepotism and that sort of
Shouldn't
thing.
be at all right? So you deal with that. Planning, of course, there is the Department of Planning that will help all divisions with managing their development programs, their funding, their progress, and so on. And of course, that division is preparing itself for the full rollout of the tongue and country planning responsibilities and so on. We're not there yet. There's still some work to be done at the ministerial level, Ministry of Planning and Development. And I think also there is to be some approval of cabinet for some aspects. All right, so we wait on that. But the Executive Council is fully aware of what is to come and there have already been approval for certain aspects. So we're waiting. All right, but you're getting yourself ready for when it is fully yours. The Department of Labor deals with employment and manpower issues, more so helping the private sector. All right.
You help the private sector with what, like ads or promoting
they
some position or
ads.
something?
They maintain database. So if an organization or an entity says, listen, I am looking for, there is this vacancy and I'm looking for someone to fill here with a particular skill set and so on, the database will help. If there is not
so
open
there is a
advertisement.
database in labor
that
provides
that helps,
some vacancies or what should be the terms and conditions of the person?
No, the employer would decide the terms and conditions. What the labor could do is help you, all right? But they will develop the database. So people will go say, listen, I have a certificate in plumbing, I am a carpenter, I'm a licensed electrician and that kind of thing, and they would maintain that database. So if there is need, all right, and an employer says, listen, I am looking for a particular skill set, do you have anybody? They can point, all right? They also conduct training exercises. They ensure that employers are aware of our labor laws, right? So you don't run afoul and end up in any industrial relation issues. They're good at that. So.
Yeah, and back to, if you go to administration a little bit, you satisfied with the way the administration is working, the public service really, how they take long to do things, people not very conscientious as they used to be before. You quite satisfied?
You have to be specific.
Are you satisfied?
Tell me exactly
with the level of efficiency that this public service work with?
Don't give me the general view. Be specific, right? I may be on this side of the divide now. I'm public servant at heart.
I know,
right?
But I'm just asking, are you fully satisfied?
I believed in my 41 years was good work. Those who work with me will tell you that I was a very hard taskmaster. Very hard.
I know all of that.
Demand.
But what is it?
So tell me, what is your pet peeve now? Tell me.
Even if you were the good master and able to drive them, those people who you work with and who you supervise, and you're in a senior position and so on, you think the 4 years after you left, you think situations have improved at the public service level?
Let me be honest. We can do better. We can do better.
In what areas do you think we can do better? People taking, public servants will taking very long to respond to the public in many areas. They come for particular type service, they can't get it. Just anything like tractor pool or getting an approval or getting something to do, all these kind of things, people take exceptionally long to deliver the service to the public.
I am sure the Secretary for Food Security
trying her
has
best.
Ventilated on several occasions what issues with tractor pool were. Lack of equipment and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we rest in that.
And even, no, you can't just rest. Anyway, we could deal with that.
Because
but I'm just saying the general attitude of the public service is...
So if you're telling me about absenteeism, about late coming...
all of those issues.
Are they tardy? Listen, Jerry productivity is bad in some areas. It is bad, all right? Whether we like it or not, it is bad. And sometimes I look and I try to find the root cause. Is it because people are unpunctual? Are they irregular? If that is it, then administrators have avenues to deal with that. All right?
I tell you stories of some administrators.
Administrators and heads of departments are equipped to deal with that. So if it is not dealt with and is left to slide, that is the responsibility of senior officials. All right?
A senior official in Office of the Chief Secretary, Planning, in Office of the Chief Secretary, Finance, gave an officer,
Finance, make up your mind, Division of Finance or Office of the Chief Secretary?
Office of the Chief Secretary under Finance.
The Office of the Finance, Mr. McFarlane, Finance and Office of the Chief Secretary are two different divisions. So make up your mind.
All right, okay, in Finance.
Right.
This officer gave this junior officer a poor performance report. And he complained and took it to his seniors and his peers. And instead of the peers say, listen, you must try and do better and don't get this report, all of them cried on the senior officer, all of these public servants, what are you doing, what up to he, we all have to look out for each other and cover up little thing and so on. You know, that was the situation.
Mr. McFarlane?
And I'm telling you, the thing was so, it came across to me as this is a level of pride and level of efficiency in the public service that people want to associate with poor reports and poor assessments.
But you know, this story got three sides. Yours, the teller, three sides, and there's the untold. Now, performance management in the public service. There are the rules. The Public Service Commission regulations is quite clear. And then there are the guidelines managing performance as issued by the personnel department. All right? Now, a poor grade is not to be given to an officer at the end of a reporting period without the officer or the one who is being reported on being told or informed of his or her deficiencies throughout the reporting period. So if the reporting period is January to December 31st, you cannot wait until November when the as we call it, performance appraisal report comes to you as a senior official to report on someone under your charge. That you are now saying, but I noticed XYZ in the 12-month period. No. That officer is to be told throughout the reporting period of all the gaps and be given opportunity to do better. It's either you doing better for yourself or the department as a whole is going to help you to do better. So if
so in the absence of that, if it's not being followed, people are going to just get, long time it used to be box 5 or something, or what?
But the officer,
a perfect grade, everybody going to get perfect grade,
the officer,
and the whole thing is just going to almost reach a point of collapsing.
As you say, walking up and down complaining about a poor report, there is provision on the very PAR for the officer who is being reported upon to say that I object, right? I object, and to list the objections. So there is no need to walk up and down and to seek sympathy, all right? Because the officer who is being reported upon must view that report before the countersigning officer affix his or her signature, right? It is not done by
what advice you have to give to all these people who are working so hard, getting their good proper report, and people who are working even some of them even coming to work and demanding serious and positive reports, just like them.
As I said, Mr. McFarlane,
Very demotivating to some of the people who are doing so well.
If deficiencies are noticed during a reporting period, officers are to be informed. And to be informed, you start verbally. There is something called progressive discipline. You start verbally, and then it's pen to paper, right? You do that. I can't sit here and say what advice I will give. What is to be done is to be done. That's the correct thing.
Is there any attempt in the public service right now, presently? I mean, almost every administrator I speak to have some issues about the public service, where they themselves came from. There's an issue some years ago, which I always remember. Some guys from fisheries, they go out to monitor the reef boats and so on. Patrol officers. They went to the administrator and said, "Administrator, we're not comfortable going out there, rain the sprinklers, the wave the sprinklers. When we go out there, sometimes like a wave come and the sprinklers, and sometimes rain fall and wet us as we go out there to take the thing." The administrator watched them in the face and said, "Listen, only do all they want to do. I have too much things to do." And that was the end of the matter. They just stopped. They just stopped go out and patrol. They just stopped go out and patrol.
And
because the administrator did.
So the head of the fisheries department sat there and accepted that behavior from his or her juniors?
I don't know what happened. I just was told by senior persons in the division, that is what the administrator said. So the administrator didn't put down her foot to say, "Well, listen, all you get serious and do all your work seriously." In spite of, don't come with this flimsy excuse to me and tell me that rain falling, you're getting sprinkled and all that kind of thing.
We operate in this country under OSH Act. And there is an obligation and a duty on both employer and employee to provide safe and healthy workplace. So a patrolman could object to work if he is not provided with his PPE. He could object to work, but he has to report somewhere. We feel that when we object to work, it means that I could stay home. No. If you object because there is risk, the employer is duty-bound to tell you, "Sit down here." Right? So,
I'm getting even more worried as we speak, Sutika, because
you can't be worried.
I'm feeling that people like yourself, who should know better and should aim to ensure that we have a more effective public service, and feel that those people who don't really work, or those people who don't really follow the rules, as you say, we're going to just have this spinning around in this matter all the time.
I resenting that. Right? No, I am resenting that because there is no way that I would sit as the Assistant Secretary in the Office of the Chief Secretary, with responsible for public administration, and allow all hell to break loose and everything to slide. No, Mr. McFarlane, no. I'm resenting that.
Oh boy. And I mean, so many instances I have where people do poor work. Don't work.
Well,
some people go to England, spend 6 weeks. They even ask for permission. They come back, they get paid, and some of them even get traveling. All these things happen in the very public service, and nobody just accepts that.
That is why they are heads of departments, and there is an administrator at the head of each division.
I think you lost touch with some of these people who are presently there right now. Those heads of division and those administrators. Listen to some of their complaints, Sutika, right now. What is happening?
They are the heads. You're not just there in title.
Some of them fed up. I'm telling you, administrators fed up. What were you talking about? Look,
so
I want to talk about all. I want to take the tour around to deal with all these things, but I'm saying,
fed up.
I'm saying many of the administrators fed up.
Have they escalated it to the next level?
What is the next level? Who, they had to escalate to the next level, or the other people below them had to escalate it up to she, and then, some of the kind of thing that escalate.
Complain. If it has not gotten to them as yet, they can't complain. If heads of departments cannot manage, then there is another level, the administrator. If the administrator cannot deal with, there is another level.
Lord. Anyway, they say we have to go for a break. Let me go for a break. When we come back.
What time is it?
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Let's go! Light up the Christmas with the best fiber. Surfboard channel switch to Amplia. Thousands in prizes, plenty smart TVs. 1 year free service and free groceries. We surfing with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. We binging with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. Sign up now for 50% off plus a chance to win over $100,000 in prizes. Call 800-4663.
At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs. Carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
This Christmas we celebrating. Cause P-Mobile, they come in with rating. So brace yourself for plenty prizes. Cause this season will be the nice. It's the most deals and the most vibes and the most cars and the most price. The most giveaways, the most para. Having a Christmas season with P-Mobile. I want a Christmas season with P-Mobile. Bring me sorry, let me toast to a Merry Christmas. Having a Christmas season with P-Mobile.
Top up, buy a plan, sign up or pay your bills. Enjoy the best Trinbago Christmas. Be mobile. Life is on.
Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Hey guys, viewers, we're back and we continue chatting with Sutika. And I want to tell you that we're going to have another program specifically to deal with public service and having it reform. And one secretary told me bluntly, maybe we should abolish the public service. You know, I am sticking out for reform because I know there are quite a few people who work real hard, damn hard in the public service. And there are too many people in the public service who don't care a hoot about providing services to the public. So
But
you don't have to
public
respond to that.
Public service reform has been with us now for, as the old people would say, donkey years.
Donkey years.
Remember
Since Nebuchadnezzar was a pebble.
Remember Gordon Draper and that whole exercise?
Exactly. I was even part of the exercise in the early days.
Then we had
you know?
papers by Reggie Dumas. A couple years ago, it was started again. I think there was a consultancy with Canadian firm, I think. And we are still where we are.
Yeah,
so we
because
wait.
many people don't want to bite the bullet and to ensure that we have good public service in this place.
It's a political will. You can't blame anybody else. It's a political will.
But you have a service commission. You have a public service commission, and then they must know how they're regulating people, how they're disciplining people, and how they're promoting people, and how they're bringing the best out of people to have a service that we could be proud of.
Public Service Commission can be responsible for the reform. That is Ministry of Public Administration and the Personnel Department.
Whoever,
Right? So
there need to be
get the
serious reform
political will.
in the public service. Serious reform. People have to be much more committed and more serious and more businesslike in what they do in the public service.
Right.
We go on to some politics here, and I know the minority leader had indicated or made some comment some time ago that you were wearing UNC colors or something like that.
Please.
How do you respond to these kind of comments?
Listen, let us forgive the minority leader.
Mm-hmm.
The dialogue about tying every other political party except the PNM that is opposed to the PNM in this little island, there is always the mantra of the PNM is to link them with the UNC. All right? I don't know what is the basis for that, but let me say here this morning, is it that you are saying to Tobagonians, the UNC came out of the bowels of the East Indian ethnic grouping?
Mm-hmm.
And as Tobagonians, we are the greater percentile of blacks. So we should not have anything to do with the East Indian community. Is it that? Is it that what they're trying to say to us as Tobagonians? So we should fear East Indians. But Mr. McFarlane, you can't come to Tobago and tell me that. When I look at the composition of the PNM slate for any election, the composition of the parliamentary bench, both lower and upper house, check the composition. So you're telling us in Tobago, fear East Indian, but they're down there hugging them up. You're hugging them up down there.
Yeah.
So let us...
So you find this comment was out of order or not appropriate or just...
He's just misguided. Right? The other thing is, what probably he doesn't know is that in this struggle for internal self-government for Tobago, for this THA, if Mr. Robinson did not have the support of Basdeo Pandey and Rafiq Shah and these people, there could not have been a Tobago House of Assembly for he to sit there today. Right? So he must understand and know these things. And I will wear yellow any day, every day.
As you feel too.
As I feel. But the symbol of the PNM has yellow in it. So you don't even know what colors make up your own symbol.
All right.
Misguided.
You seem to be, we have about 4 more minutes again. And I must bring up this piece here with, you seem to be a thorn in the side of the Prime Minister, or a thorn in his belly, or a thorn in his throat. You know, what is happening on these comments and the Prime Minister have made over the past few months, I think? What really happened? Did he misunderstood you or something?
Oh boy, listen. I didn't know that the Prime Minister knew me that well. Well,
he may be hearing things about you.
No, he knows me quite well. Don't get mixed up. He knows me quite well. Don't get tied up at all. But you see, Mr. Rowley has displayed over the years that ranting and raving belongs to him. And he must say what he wants about anybody. And nobody must respond. Not Idris' child. Not Idris' one child. That ain't happening. I didn't interfere. Listen. The thing was simple. It had to do with this issue of the vacancy at the THA as chief administrator. And of course, utterances were made. I think he had a press conference on the 12th of May. And he spoke about the absence of a deputy chair of the Public Service Commission. And that vacancy was going to be filled the very afternoon at 2 p.m. by an appointment of an individual by the president. And he alluded to the fact that it was that vacancy that prevented the appointment of an officer to the office of chief administrator. And I said, but no. The Constitution says that there shall be a public service commission. There shall be a chairman, a deputy chair, not less than 2, not more than 4 other members. So the commission could comprise from 4 to 6 persons. And the absence of a deputy chair does not make the Public Service Commission unconstitutional.
That's correct.
Because clearly there was a chairman. All right?
And clearly there is a quorum.
There was a quorum. And even if the deputy or the chair are absent from a meeting, the other members can decide among themselves who would chair for the day and so record. All right?
And that is catered for.
That is catered for in the Constitution, 120, right? But more than that, just a couple days before, an officer who apparently was appointed to act as chief administrator by the very service commission, that letter of appointment was apparently withdrawn and the said officer placed on suspension.
And the very Public Service Commission.
Yes, so I asked.
And without a deputy chairman.
I asked if the vacancy of a deputy chair meant that a chief administrator could not be appointed. Who suspended the other officer? Who suspended? Or did the commission become unconstitutional after the letter was issued to the other officer, right? So it didn't make sense because in my mind, and I was going with what the Constitution says and the Public Service Regulation says, and I held the view that the Public Service Commission was properly constituted and could not prevent the appointment of an officer to sit as chief ad. But that was hypocrisy, right?
So you pointed out that to them. And
yeah, I said that in the public space, right? And I don't make confusion. No, it's the truth, it's the plain facts. Tell our people the truth. Don't do that to our people, right? Don't do that to us at all as a people, no. Put the facts out there, people can make what they can interpret it whichever way, but place the truth in the public space, right? So he continued, I'm not worried about that. I am not shaken.
I like how you defend yourself and justify your comments and so on. And, yeah.
Right? So I'm not looking for cheap political points. I'm not doing that.
What's the next step you think the Tobago House of Assembly should take as we move forward? What are some of the critical issues?
Let me tell you,
we have 2 minutes to deal with that. 2 minutes.
2 areas that I am hoping in this fiscal year, well, not hoping, that I am going to ensure take place this fiscal year. One is to bring some ease and some hope to our people here when it comes to their pension. Under OCS, we are going to...
You have a pension and leave section there, right?
It's scattered throughout the divisions.
Or each division of the pension and leave section.
What we are going to do during this fiscal is to centralize it under OCS. One place. So to bring ease to Tobagonians. People should not be waiting any longer, 2-3 years.
But I got the impression that that division is one of the hard-working divisions and bringing some relief as we speak.
It is still bad. It is still very bad because we're disaggregated. We all over the place, all right? Each division is responsible for compiling the records and so on, but we want to pull it to the center. And
I always got the impression, talking to some of these administrators and so on, that division is much better than it was many years ago.
Well, I'm not too sure about that part, All right?
Okay.
We are going to do the public officers first, all right? The daily rated can stay where they are for now, right? Because the issue with the daily rated is in most part when they are to get that second part of their benefits. All right, that is, just yesterday, somebody met me at Shaw Park and said the husband has been home for 5 years and cannot get it, right?
And who's responsible for that? Not the public service, right? According to you, the public
Well, it depends. No. It could be, I'm not sure if it's a funding issue or it was a deliberate administrative issue, right? Whether the approval was sought, now that won't get me vexed, right? The approval was sought, if it was obtained and it is lying somewhere in a division. Or is it just that the volume to be
if
paid...
the public servants don't want to look for the man records and have the man records
No, it got the first part, so the record part of it is fine, except probably for the last 12 months of his service, all right? But he has gotten that, because you remember the daily paid, their retirement benefits is paid in 2 parts.
2 tranches, like.
Right, one is paid straight from the director, comptroller of accounts, and one is paid by the division here, all right? The teachers, we are doing, as I said, we're doing the public service first. Teachers, because they are in one division, all right, we will do them next. Good, but the public other, let me say the civil servants, because they are scattered throughout the THE and sometimes outside of the THE. Could be at CAST, could be at a ministry or department in Trinidad.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
And you see, the thing with us, in most part, if an officer is appointed to a ministry or department in Trinidad, they stay there, except they are promoted or appointed outside of. You stay there, you most times spend your life there. But under the THE, you know, you're here today, you're somewhere else tomorrow, and so on. We want to alleviate that and pull our records, get our record keeping vaults and areas, you know, sanitized up to mark and that kind of thing. And in addition, the Public Service Academy must become reality.
And where's a Public Service Academy, a National Public Service
No,
Academy?
this is first in the
Tobago
THE.
Public Service Academy?
THE. Because there is also a Public Service Academy under the Ministry of Public Administration. But this is for the staff here, right?
I don't know how that's going to help changing the attitudes of people.
Of course, we're doing that too.
I wish you will. And I really hope
will
that you succeed.
I will.
I really hope that you succeed and you change the attitude of the majority of quite a few people in the public service. Some of them who are really doing their best, you know. Some of them working night, going home all hours of the night, trying to get things done in some of them divisions. And while other people come in whatever time they want to come in the morning, whatever time they want to leave in the day, and when the time comes for one of the officers to give them an assessment, they give them a poor grade, and they're making hell breaking loose in the place. I don't know, too much ambivalence and insecurity and incompetence in the public service. So Tika, I wish you well. And I really hope, I wish you well, but I really hope people change their attitude.
I may be little, but I'm going to be proven to be Talawa.
Folks, this brings us to the end of the program. Don't forget the book fair at Scarborough RC this morning. And for more information, you could contact Dr. Alfred, Rosalind Alfred, right? That comes up there. And also tomorrow we are going to have, as another member of the Assembly coming in, Sonny Craig will be here tomorrow. And we have a lot to talk about Sonny Craig and what he's doing and his position in the Tobago House of Assembly. That's supposed to be a pretty exciting one. Thank you very much, viewers. And Sutika, I want to thank you very much, my dear. Maybe we had to have more like this for me to see you, and you living in Plymouth. You're ashamed.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Take care, folks. See you tomorrow. God's blessings, and have a lovely week and weekend that is coming up. See you. God bless.
I say, thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong.